Japanese Tzu Chi volunteers provide hot meals to the homeless once a month in the Tokyo Park. Dr. Chen Zongying in Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital wins an award for his contribution in medical teachings. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Maggie Tsai. Thank you for joining us. Tzu Chi Japan Chapter goes to Yoyogi Park in Tokyo once a month to give out hot meals to the homeless. And for years, they have comforted many lonely souls there. This time, many male volunteers also took the chance to participate. When they saw many homeless people voluntarily helped, they were all amazed as it showed the positive influence of the event.
All the goods prepared for the hot meal distribution have been loaded onto the cars, while the volunteers take the subway to Yoyogi Park. It has become natural for the street people to help unload the goods. While the venue is prepared for the hot meal distribution, some street people take tongs and garbage bags to pick up garbage on the street. It opened the eyes of the volunteers who participate in this event the first time.
I've known Tzu Chi for 12 years, but this is the first event I've ever attended. This is also a meaningful event.
Guo Bosong spends all his time studying, so he hardly interacts with people. He sees how they respect each other.
I'm quite amazed that everything is lined up neatly and they are very polite.
Because this day is also a holiday, many male volunteers also show up to handle distributing their hot meals. And the street people praise them for their concern on sanitation and their good manners.
Thank you very much. You are fantastic and so caring. Preparing so many things is not easy.
This is also the first time for Chen Honghui to participate in this event. He says street people are exercising the aphorism, giving is more blessed than receiving.
During giving of hot meals, I also saw several street people helping us in taking part in this event, like taking away trash and cleaning up here or there.
Giving of service is also a kind of learning. After these male volunteers return to the Tzu Chi Japan Chapter, they clean out the kitchen to put an end to today's event.
The participants of the Tzu Chi Overseas Volunteer Cultivation Camp have returned to the Jing Si Abode for a spiritual retreat. As they witness how Dharma masters work to support themselves and live a frugal life, they realize that with determination, they can overcome many obstacles.
I feel really good about returning home. I hope I can return home every year. After going back, I will become more diligent, listening to the master's teaching every day.
The master's cultivation ground is very simple. We can feel her frugal and diligent spirit. I feel deeply touched by this.
The volunteers broadened their view by having a tour of the abode. Participants in the overseas cultivation camp learned the Dharma teachings while feeling blessed.
With love and determination, we can overcome many obstacles. When I worked as a teacher, I learned that we should do things according to our capabilities. However, I've discovered that we should not limit ourselves. With determination in the right direction, we can inspire other people.
Tzu Chi volunteers from different countries work with one mind and heart to do good deeds. They'll return to their countries with what they learned and continue to spread love.
In China, Sichuan Tzu Chi volunteers have invited nearly 200 volunteers to gather at DaAi Technology Grounds for a gratitude gathering. Let's meet some of these environmental protectors.
Nearly 200 Sichuan recycling volunteers gather annually at a gratitude event. They showcase their talents putting on drama play and other performances. A lot of people have attended the event as a result of the volunteers' hard work in the communities.
They work hard in all the places, including Hanguang and Luosui. They usually do not have time to go home. We want to seize the opportunity to let them feel the warmth of a big family. He is not doing it alone, but a lot of people are also volunteering.
The 20 recycling points are spread over the place. The volunteers have safeguarded the earth for 10 years. Even in the evenings in front of high-rises, the volunteers work hard to persuade the residents to recycle resources.
We are not doing this to collect a certain amount of recyclables, nor are we doing this for the money. We really want to educate the public on environmental protection.
Since roadside recycling points do not have storage space, the volunteers must transport the recyclables to factories on that day. No matter how late it is, the volunteers happily carry the recyclables with their tricycles.
My reward is the strengthening of my body. I can sleep well. I am very happy.
It takes 40 minutes to travel from my home to Xinhua Recycling Station. It is close to go to Jingzhou Recycling Station by car. If we walk, it would take 10 to 20 minutes. I think the distance does not matter when it comes to recycling. The most important thing is you are willing to give of yourself.
They've been shouldering the responsibilities to protect the environment. Yongding Guo Yi Shifang is receiving an award carrying the old backpack.
I pick the garbage using this bag. I pick the recyclables and put them into this bag. This is my only purpose. I've been doing this since the 5/12 earthquake. I made the bag myself.
Smiling with confidence, the recycling volunteers will continue to do what benefits the public and protect the environment.
In Malaysia, Kota Kemuning Recycling Center is the largest recycling station owned by Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor Chapter. Different groups are welcome to visit. Tzu Chi volunteers not only share recycling knowledge, but also enhancing the public's awareness to climate change and natural disasters.
Kota Kemuning Recycling Center is the largest recycling station of Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor Chapter. Volunteers try every means to have the center make an impact in the community.
In fact, the eyeball is not completely black like human being. Some of the eyeballs are dark brown in color. So now I'm slowly adding dark brown on top so that it looks more realistic.
Recycling can continue the life cycle of all materials. All decorations in the recycling stations are made of recyclables.
I saw a carton days before and thought that its linear structure is suitable to make a hat. Then I cut into strips and weave it into the straw hat.
In addition to doing recycling, the recycling center also welcomes volunteers and groups from other communities to exchange and learn.
The topic like climate change factors can be added to our teaching. At present, our recycling stations in the city do not have these displays.
The 5R concept is pretty much new to me because previously I only know about the 3R. So when I come here, definitely I learn something new.
Because it has a smell, so we hope that you can clean and dry it before bringing it to the recycling station.
The recycling station turns useless things to useful resources, reducing the amount of garbage and at the same time promoting environmental awareness in the community.
Today we introduced Chen Zongying, the Deputy Superintendent of the Hualien Tzu Chi Medical Center. He was the first domestic doctor to go overseas to study neuroanesthesia. This year he won an award for his outstanding contribution to medical education in Hualien County.
你主要是倒位的痛？
我胃的迄个脊椎骹拢介痛。
Listening carefully to the source of this patient's pain, this anesthesiologist is making sure his expertise is put to good use. Dr. Chen Zongying is the first domestic doctor to study neuroanesthesia abroad. Thus, he has become an integral part of brain surgeries.
When the dosage is just right, the nerves in the brain are easier. So when we do brain tumor surgery or blood clot removal, it's very smooth. Of course, more importantly is that it helps the patient recover much faster.
你要记得是放在这里，往上拉，你才会看到这两片。
The importance of medical education is not only in knowing the right skills and techniques, but also in being a good doctor. Dr. Chen doesn't just nurture his own students, but is also helping to raise the quality of doctors across eastern Taiwan.
When a patient comes to us, we will do a consultation. It's a very important step because this is the only chance you will come into contact with the patient and their family.
When I started my residency as an anesthesiologist, he gave me a very important direction, which was our position of care between the patient and the patient's family. It changed my view on anesthesiology altogether.
This year, Dr. Chen received the Hualien County Medical Contribution Award. He was also the first one to receive it for medical education.
I feel like I have my own way of teaching, and no matter if it's in passing on my experience, knowledge, or way of learning to the students or others, I feel like it's very clear. And in this area, when I'm doing it, I don't feel tired at all.
As the department head of Hualien Tzu Chi University of Medical Department, Dr. Chen hopes his students can learn to be thankful.
I hope the students can fully understand the selflessness that goes into such a decision of donating their body to help the medical students. It's not a very easy decision to make.
Also thanking those volunteers who act as standardized patients.
When a standardized patient comes in to pretend he's having stomach problems, if he originally didn't have abdominal pain, after 12 people come and push on it, examining it, he will likely have experienced abdominal pain.
He knows how to find good teachers to teach the students and also how to inspire these good teachers to have passion in their teaching.
With his own teaching method and passion, Dr. Chen continues to help nurture quality medical staff in eastern Taiwan, which has become his calling in life.
A Malaysian Indian kidney patient, Karen, has 4 kids. He was diagnosed with kidney failure at the age of 43 and later ran into financial difficulties. Fortunately, he received free dialysis from the Tzu Chi Dialysis Center. Now, with the support of Tzu Chi volunteers, Karen overcame his illness and can give back to society.
I had diabetes since 26 years old. Later on, I was diagnosed with kidney failure. My illness brought a lot of trouble to my family. My kids needed to go to school, but we didn't have money. It was really a struggle.
51 years old dialysis patient Karuna Karen had diabetes when he was 43 years old. It was later on led to kidney failure that he had to undergo dialysis frequently to maintain his life. The medical expenses brought his family financial difficulties.
We met him 6 years ago when he just had a kidney failure. At that time, he was still young. His kids were also small and were all studying in school. His wife had to work to support the entire family. Since she worked in school cultivation, she could only earn very little. Her husband needed to undergo dialysis frequently. Thus, we provide him free dialysis and help pay some of their children's education fee. Now, they have a stable life and he starts to work as well.
After receiving Tzu Chi's help, Karuna Karen's wife, Leela, wanted to pay back by being a volunteer.
My husband is getting better now, so I would like to help others as well. I have 1 month break in December, so I can volunteer on Sundays.
Through Volunteer's Companion, Karuna Karen's family overcame difficulties and gradually returns to a normal life.
In Shenyang, China, 70-year-old Mr. Zhu has encountered much tragedy in his life. He lost his wife and had no children. His only sister and nephew once tried to kill him for insurance money. He suffered grief and pain day and night and even went blind. After Tzu Chi volunteers came to care for him, his heart opened once again.
Tzu Chi pays a weekly visit with Mr. Zhu. Now Mr. Zhu has something to look forward in his lonely life. He once lost all his money through fraud and was nearly killed by his nephew for insurance money. It was a heartbreaking experience for him as he soon turned blind.
I can't see now, so I have to count my steps in order to know where I'm at. This isn't easy for me, but I could still live on my own and could still buy some food from the market. Although this happened to me, I face the truth and choose to accept it.
He didn't trust anyone, but after we accompanied him with love and care, he gradually opened up to us. No matter the kitchen, bathroom, or bedroom, we clean the house for him. Although he is blind, we still want to provide him a comfortable place to live and make him feel better.
It's like having my own children now after so many lonely days and nights. I felt peaceful even when I'm alone now. Because of your companionship and help, my heart feels warm.
On this day, volunteer came to Mr. Zhu's house, cooked him birthday noodles, and celebrated his 70th birthday. Volunteers helped him get dressed and invited him to his birthday party.
I haven't celebrated my birthday for years. Thank you, Tzu Chi, for holding this party for me. I'm very grateful for what Tzu Chi did. They always take good care of the seniors.
Although Mr. Zhu has no children by his side, the company of volunteers had allowed him to forget his loneliness.
In October 1989, Taiwan approved the use of foreign migrant workers, which has become the main source of manpower in Taiwan's traditional industry. This year marks the 30th anniversary, with the total number of foreign workers now reaching 710,000 individuals. Here's our report of how these new impetus for Taiwan's economic power.
This is Taichung's Power Tip Tech Corporation, where Vietnamese migrant workers are wearing dust-proof clothes and entering a clean room. Taiwan began to introduce migrant workers in October 1989, mainly from Southeast Asia, such as the Philippines, Indonesia, Vietnam, and Thailand. It has been 30 years until now. The number of migrant workers includes 429,000 factory workers, 12,000 fishermen on fishing boats, and 260,000 care workers with families. The number has reached nearly 710,000, surpassing the 570,000 indigenous people, becoming the fourth largest ethnic group in Taiwan. The Taipei MRT and Highway Number 3 and 14 other major projects promoted by the government in the 1990s required more laborers. When the Taiwanese economy took off, the introduction of migrants was allowed. Zhao Shoubo, chairman of the Council of Labor Affairs, said that the lack of workers was the main reason for the introduction of migrant workers.
The most urgent thing was Highway Number 3, so the first group of workers was allocated to this project, and then there was the MRT, and then the factories that couldn't hire workers.
In addition to the lack of workers on major construction projects, Taiwan's economic development led many citizens to be reluctant to work as laborers.
The second issue is that Taiwan society has progressed to a certain level. Just like in Europe, even if you have a high unemployment rate, there are some jobs that no one is willing to do.
When I came, I was experiencing a difficult family situation, so I decided to come to Taiwan to work. I wanted to earn some money to help my family.
I've been here for 7 years. When I came, I was just like them and did work like normal workers. And then after 4 years, I became the team leader, and now I'm helping teach and correct them.
There are about 3.1 million laborers in Taiwan's manufacturing industry, and 420,000 are foreign workers. This means that nearly 14% of the workers, or 1 out of 7 workers, are migrant workers, which can be said to be of great help to Taiwan's manufacturing industry and overall economic strength. These 2 Vietnamese factory workers work in a photovoltaic factory, which is a high-tech facility. However, the vast majority of migrant workers are in traditional industries, which the Japanese dubbed 3K, such as kitane, kiken, and kitsui, or in English it is so-called 3D, which is dirty, dangerous, and difficult. Most of these industries cannot find Taiwanese workers. Even a technology factory like PowerTip faces difficulties in finding workers from Taiwan. To give you an example, the company employs 3 Vietnamese migrant workers for 1 domestic employee.
We continue to work day and night, so we need workers for early morning, early evening, and late night shift. We lack domestic manpower for early night shift and late night shift in the country. Therefore, we need foreign migrants workers.
The reason why some people oppose foreign migrant workers is that they may be taking jobs away from local laborers. However, in many cases, even if employers offer good compensation, they still cannot find domestic workers.
The most profound impression on me was that we used to encounter a lack of workers on the production line and a lack of workers on paperwork. For example, we may get 50 applications for 1 office job a week, but only get about 5 applications for 1 factory position. Although we pay overtime according to the labor law, the problem is that we have difficulty implementing the government's policy for alternate weekends of rest.
This precisely because the domestic workers are unwilling to accept this work, along with the fact that foreign migrant workers are just as good as domestic workers. For PowerTip, employing Vietnamese foreign laborers is an important key to their success.
Regarding our company's Vietnamese employees, their contribution to our company is very large, and it is also very important, and is also one of our company's assets.
They have contributed to Taiwan's economic development and the construction of public works.
Although the injured right palm has been rehabilitated for 2 years, the scars on the Vietnamese foreign laborer Phan's palm are still shocking.
I am Phan Bo Zhong. I have been in Taiwan for almost 2 years. I was injured 5 months after coming here.
Since most of the migrant workers are engaged in the traditional industries, coupled with language problems and factory employers failing to make proper safety slogans, cases such as Phanbo's injury ironwork are common. According to statistics, job-related injury rate of migrant workers is higher than that of domestic workers. Take 2017 as an example. The rate of job shift injuries is 3.3 per 1,000 people, and the number of domestic labor-related injuries is 2.8.
The first reaction of an employer who encounters a job-related disaster, including the intermediary agent, is quickly sending them back. They immediately offer them $3,000 or $1,500 to go back home.
We should establish a social consensus to say it is necessary to be kind to foreign workers because they come to help us.
It has been 30 years since the introduction of migrant workers, and 710,000 migrant workers have provided an indelible contribution to Taiwan's manufacturing industry and economic power. However, the bridge collapse at Nanfang Ao has highlighted the safety issue that many migrant workers face and their request for compensation for occupational disasters. The problem often resurfaces. While enjoying the contribution of migrant workers to our economy, we also need to think about the labor rights and human rights that protect migrant workers.
A kindergarten in Kaohsiung City hosts outdoor activities to teach children to use their imagination to show love to others. Take a look and see you next time.